Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics. Where this video, we're going to be putting the engine in the 78 SS El Camino. Okay, got her all painted. Frame pour 15, firewall painted there. I'll do this area later on. We're just concentrating on where the engine's going in. Okay. The Mercedes that was here is gone. It's sold. Sold it to a guy that came from Oklahoma City, a couple hours away. He screwed around with it for a couple hours. Got it running, half-ass running. I mean, it was running. It just had a bad hesitation. Anyway, he attempted to drive it back. I don't know if he made it or not, because as soon as he got here, I was like, where's your trailer? Oh, I got a toolbox, so I'm going to get it, drive it back. Okay. Anyway, it's gone, guys. The gold Malibu was right here. That's the engine from it. Gold Malibu is over in the back in its little pack of colonnades over there. I forgot to put the hood on there. So it's just sitting there with no hood. Okay, it's probably destined to be a parts car now. I haven't got nobody interested in buying it to rebuild it. Okay, so I haven't advertised it or nothing. Just that a couple of you have commented that you wanted to buy it. Okay, my hoist screwed up. This jack is something leaking. I put fluid in it. It's staying up, but it just slowly goes down, and I can't have it up painting it when it does that. So I just went to Harbor Freight, and yeah, 80 something bucks I think altogether with tax and everything. So anyway, fixing to put that on there. I got the engine transmission cleaned up pretty good. I got the exhaust manifolds off because we're going to be putting on headers, and but we put the headers on after the engine's in. So okay, so I've been cleaning it up, getting it ready to paint. You know, we're going to paint all this bracket here, pulleys, stuff black, probably brush it on there. Probably leave the intake aluminum, and this is off the other engine because the other one was busted. So the original color is this blue called GM blue, I think it's called, or Chevy blue or something. Nobody has that. I went to AutoZone, they had no blue engine paint whatsoever. Went to O'Reilly's and they had only one color blue. So that's called this old Ford blue. So I got this, some transmission fluid, engine degreaser, rear end fluid, some battery cables. They don't make red positive. So I asked the guy that. I says, how come they don't make these in red? Hopefully got the right 3 belts, because the belts on both engines are cracked really bad. So hopefully they're right. Got a new transmission mount. One was bad on one was okay on the other, but they're only like $8 or something. So we got that. So the goal is to jack this up and clean the bottom. I got this area here pretty good, but I need to do the oil pan, and I guess we're gonna paint it Ford blue. You know, I don't know what else to do. They had black engine paint. I could have bought black, but all underneath the car is gonna be black. So anyway, that's what we got. We got all this stuff ready to put in. Drive shaft, cross member. The U-joints on this drive shaft front and back are pretty good, so I think we're just going to leave them. We got to clean up some other stuff like this shroud. I think this shroud from the Malibu is going to fit. It looks a little different than the busted one that came off the El Camino. We'll have to clean up some other stuff. The transmission flywheel cover. We got to clean that up. I got the starter. I had busted the solenoid off the starter for this engine, so I swapped solenoids. They're a little bit different anyway. This is staggered bolt pattern, and these are this way. This starter was bad anyway. The solenoid's okay, but the starter. So anyway, I've been scraping that off. I don't know, I'll clean it, maybe put a little paint on it or something, I don't know. Anyway, we got that. We just got so much little shit to clean up. I've been cleaning the valve covers a little bit. Steel wool took off some of that surface rust. Some of it's sticking on there, but overall it looks good. They don't leak, the valve cover, so I'm just going to leave them chrome ones on there. If it was me, I'd probably buy aluminum ones, but that's what we got. Yeah, the exhaust manifolds are different from that one to this one. You can see skinny up top, thick on bottom. This is thick on bottom. They're just different. But that don't matter, so we're using headers. But that was the difference between a El Camino and a Malibu. Okay, we got a bunch of stuff came in. We're going to go over more detail later as we use it. Got to steel wool the headers. Got new bolts, gaskets. Like I said, they'll go in after the engine. Hopefully they'll just slide right up in there, but who knows. Got some spark plug cover, wire cover boots there, 8 of them. Got new heater hoses and stuff, fuel lines. Got the header deals there. Got some extra stuff there, but I ordered a whole bunch of exhaust hangers, new air shocks for the back. We got a gauge set up. Not sure about that yet. I'd like to find the factory gauges, but I know it'll cost a fortune. Got the battery box there. Got the new steering wheel in here. I only need one, but it was almost cheaper just to buy 2 new door handles. I'm just showing you what came in. Okay, here's the X-pipe kit. They used to be about $100. Now they're like $160, something like that. I think this was $170 something with tax. So this should be the kit. These are just extras that you cut. If you need a little piece of pipe, you cut it, and you might as well get it because they're $20 for a little pipe at O'Reilly's. But anyway, we'll go over all this. The mufflers have not come in yet. We'll have a situation with the mufflers. We'll go over that when the time comes. But before I can put all this on, I need to pour 15 all the floor, because once this is on, it's too hard to get up there and paint. So there might be a little bit of delay on putting this in and getting it running. Okay, that's just some of the stuff that came in. Got some fluids. I bought oil and oil filter, but that was for the other engine. You know, it's to be the same, but we already did an oil change on that engine before when it was in the Malibu, so we're not doing another one. Deciding whether to use the flex fan from the Malibu or the clutch fan from the El Camino. Not sure which one to use. Okay, yeah, there's the hood for I forgot to put that on there, but anyway, I was going to throw that back seat in the trunk too. But it's not going to the crusher or nothing, that car. It's staying around till every last piece is used on that. And then Okay guys, so I think that's it. So what I'm gonna get going is probably take off all these belts and whatever I can on here to make it easier to paint. Jack it up in the air, clean underneath the oil pan, transmission pan, get all that cleaned up, and then start painting under there. And then we'll get all these. There's not a whole lot that goes blue, this whole front here, but this is staying aluminum looking, and then chrome, so there won't even be much blue to see really. At least we'll have it covered. Okay, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other little stuff. The oil, this oil deal was busted off here, so this is off the other engine. This engine here has the coolant temperature sensor. The factory one that came with the, or the aftermarket one that came with the gauges doesn't fit in there, it's too small. So this is just hooked to an idiot light. This one doesn't have it on the same side. It's just got a plug right there, and all I did was pull the wire off from here. The wire was there and it unclipped, but I cannot find what the hell it is, where it was. But anyway, we're gonna have to extend the wire to fit from the harness, fit from here over to there. So we'll at least have the idiot lights hooked up. I was looking for another place to put another one to hook up aftermarket gauge. If I can find a, you know, something to stick in there or something like that, we'll do that. We can do that later. Okay, so let me get on with it, and I'll be back when I got some progress done. Okay guys, I got it all painted up, Ford blue. Painted the motor mounts, pulleys black. But yeah, I could have probably ordered the right paint off eBay and waited 3, 4, 5 days. It's a long weekend, so it'd probably be, you know, a week. Still haven't got my master cylinder. That cylinder's a real flake. It's got a bunch of negatives. Okay, I took off the alternator, power steering, painted all them up, all the brackets. So it's getting late now in the morning. I'm gonna bolt all them back on there, and I think we'll be ready to put it in. Now I had it tilted up like this. I can't get the back end up, because I'm not going to be able to pull the car forward and lift the transmission at the same time. I think I'm going to put it come along here up to there or something so I could lift it up, and once it's under the hood, then I can get it like this and put it in. But anyway, it was like this, and it started dripping oil out of the back seal, the oil pan there. So I don't know if that seal's bad or it's just leaking above it, or I don't know. It wasn't leaking oil before. Now same with this transmission fluid. I don't know how I just hope it's not this seal back here. I hope it's dipstick or this or something dripping. But when I pulled that cover, when it was on the car, still in the car, it stopped dripping. So I couldn't tell where it was coming from. Anyway, I don't know. I don't want to put all this in there and then have to pull the transmission out again to do that seal. So I don't know. Anyway, I'll put it all together and get it ready to pull in. Yeah, I had transmission fluid oil all over here. I just now finished power washing it all off there. But yeah, it's quite the mess. Okay, well, be back tomorrow morning and we'll see if we can stab it in there. Okay guys, I forgot where I left off last clip. That was yesterday. Anyway, put all the power steering pump alternator stuff back on there. Thermostat housing, new gasket. I took off the old pan. Like I said, when it was tilted way up, it started leaking oil out the back seal. So I don't know how that happened. It wasn't leaking oil before. I took the old pan off, and I had a gasket set with a few missing gaskets. I had this new gasket, but not the rear where it was leaking. But it didn't look bad, so I cleaned it all up and just filled it all with silicone, put it back on. The oil, I had changed the oil 7 months ago when I first got that gold Malibu, but it was black. There was a little bit of sludge in the bottom of the pan. Cleaned that out. And this was in the bottom of the old pan. A chewed up fine thread bolt. So I don't know what that's off of. I checked all the connecting rods there, and they all had their bolts on there. They looked about the same size. Of course, we would have heard noise if something had come loose like that when we're test driving it. But probably when they rebuilt it and somebody dropped it in there. Okay, so I'm just worried about the transmission leaking. It was dripping down here, and I don't know where because it had the cover, so it was dripping from the bottom of the cover. Where did I put that cover? Anyway, I just power washed it and cleaned it all up. Okay, so when I took the cover off, it stopped leaking. I know I already mentioned it a few times. So anyway, I think it's ready to go in now. I just put this strap on there to keep it level, so I'm going to pull it up, and then once it's over the header panel radiator support, and I take this strap down, then it's going to tilt down, and then I'm going to slide it in, and then get under there with a jack and a piece of wood and jack the transmission up as we lower this down to the 2 motor mounts. All you want to do is line up these 2 motor mounts here. Once you get them bolts in, that's it. You can put your cross member and stuff on there, but I may just kind of leave it suspended up with a jack, start it up once we get the headers on, and make sure it's not leaking transmission fluid. If it is, we're gonna have to pull the transmission out. Yeah, I could do it now, but I don't know exactly what it is, whether it's that seal back here behind the torque converter. Okay, so I think I got everything, guys. I'm gonna push up the El Camino and get her ready, so I'll be back. Okay guys, it's going in. I took the strap off the transmission so it's pointing down where it should, right like that, and then we're slowly letting it down a couple inches, pulling the car ahead a couple inches, and we'll keep going till it slides in there. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, it's almost lined up. You can see where the hole's got to go. You just got to leave it kind of loose and suspended, and slowly move it around. And need a jack underneath here under the transmission, and that should slide pretty good. Just needs to slide an inch or so around, So that's about it. I should have it bolted up here pretty soon, and I'll be back. Okay guys, it's in there. Went in there pretty easy. Just I said last clip, just get it to the bolts line up. They line right up. Well, one side, this side went right in, lower the hoist, the other side right in. I had to change these lines over because, you know, I left a pump from the Malibu on there, but that was standard and this is metric, so it had metric threads in here. I tried putting them in, but they wouldn't go in. So anyway, I had to change the lines over. Okay, so I just kind of got that done, and just got the fuel line here. I had a filter there, but I think we'll just leave this. Well, I'm gonna get I got a bigger filter we're gonna put in there. Okay, I'm gonna undo them, or take out them spark plug wires off and see if I can fit them headers in there. Yeah, there's still a lot of stuff to hook up, but it's getting there. It just takes a long time to hook one up than it does to pull one out. But yeah, it's getting there. It's gonna look good in there. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, next morning. Got the headers on there. They fit pretty good. This side, you know, if you can see, it just barely hit the edge of the top of the control arm. So I shaved off a little bit on that side. First I beat in the header a little bit, but anyway, it's just barely got enough room to clear down there. It may almost hit the floor at the collector. But anyway, they all fit evenly, all the bolts. And then this side here fit no problem. I thought this was going to be the hard one. Do the steering column box stuff, the aluminum or the steel tube for the fuel vent, it was bulged out down here, so it was hitting. Had to bend that in forward, bend that in a little bit. Probably have to do it some more, but other than that, it's. And then they had this zip tied to it, the speedometer. I think it's a speedometer cable. Anyway, mess with a little bit there. Okay, but this side needs this is the AC bracket that goes there, and then we're gonna have to figure out a bolt. Well, I can get the bolt, but the spacers and everything for that, and the other bracket that goes from here to here. It's not gonna fit in here, so we could probably use half the bracket or something. Okay, you can see the temperature sensors right here, but of course they had a plug on the other engine, and they had it rigged over here, right here. Now, see, this is the plug that they had plugged over here somewhere, and I don't know where it is. It's on this side. Anyway, that's just, we're gonna pull that out of there. That's what they had all spliced together. It's just but anyway, this had run over on that side to this green wire, which was eaten by the rats right here. So this is the green wire. So really we just need to run that to that. So I get a green wire and a connector. Other than that, the rest of the wiring's in really good shape. So just got to put on the accelerator cable, hook that up. Yeah, I made a little less list there if you're doing it. Put the starter, the electrical, water temperature wire, transmission mount, cross member linkage, speedometer cable, the AC lines, connect them back up to here. AC compressor, drive shaft. Got to add oil, power steering fluid, transmission fluid, the transmission cover. I think they call it the flywheel inspection cover. Shroud, fan, belts, radiator and heater hoses, and the accelerator cable. Okay, the Malibu, I thought they were the same radiators, but the Malibu was just a couple inches longer. So we used this is the original one. The shrouds were a little bit different. The original shroud here is busted. I don't know if I can fix it. Okay, the shroud here for the Malibu is a little bit too long. I'm going to check the one in the 78 Nova, see if it's like this. Now the radiator hoses, they didn't have them. They had the top but not the bottom. So I thought I had, anyway, I'm going to have to round up 2 good hoses, because I'd have to wait 2 days for the top hose. This is that AC bracket there. There's a new transmission bracket. And this is the inspection cover. Anyway, we're going to get all that done. I wanted to show you. So I was looking for something in my shop. I got so much stuff that I don't even know what I got. What did I do with, oh, looking for something, then I found these. Brand new chrome valve covers. I think a friend of mine was moving from a shop years ago when he gave me this, and he gave me a Edelbrock intake or a Torker intake or something, and I remember I put that on the Chevelle. But this doesn't have the rubber. I don't have the rubber seals. Can't take them off the other ones because they'll be too brittle and they'll just break. So if I could round up, the one's supposed to be for the oil cap. If I could round them plastic ones up, I may put them on there, but there's the header collectors there, heater hoses, battery tray. Yeah, I gotta put the battery tray in there. Anyway, it's rolling along, guys. Just the heat's not letting up, so trying to get as much done in the next couple hours as I can before the heat takes over. And I think I thought I had an AC bracket over here. Anyway, we'll figure that out. Okay, well, I'll be back when I get some more stuff done. Looks good with them headers on there, though. Okay, guys, I've been working on it for about 3 hours. Forgot this out the other engine because this one didn't have it. This is for the top of the AC bracket, which goes, bolts right there. Luckily, Edelbrock has the holes for it. Okay, so I just cleaned that up and painted it. Okay, this bottom bracket here, well, we'll start with this bracket here. I had to use this bolt. You tighten it up there, and then this is a fixed whatever where this can go on there. But I had to measure it from here to here on the other engine to make sure this is at the right spot, because you know the headers are, the factory exhaust manifolds are about that thick, so you have to. So on this side, for this bottom bracket for the AC, I had this spacer here, so I had to measure again and cut that spacer, and that's going to go in there. And there's no way of getting this one on here. This one comes in like that. There's no way. So let's cut it off. There's a little piece right here. So you know, it's going to be, you're going to have the top bracket, this bracket, and this bracket, so it ain't going anywhere. So anyway, I had to use a factory bolt with the spacer there. I put on the little spark plug boots for the headers so they don't burn up, but I'll probably get this a little bit better. But I'm fixing to put this on and the compressor on. So I think I'm done under here. Here's the green wire for the temperature sensor right there, and just run it right up to here. I got the solder connection there, but I would just put some tape around it. Yeah, I think that's it. And this is the power for the compressor, the ground, and then this one was that little up the idle solenoid, which we don't have, so we'll just have to take that off, make sure it doesn't spark and blow a fuse. Okay, so yeah, I got to get the compressor on to do the belts, because that AC belt goes on first, then the power steering belt, and then the alternator belt. So, you know. Okay, the fan shroud from the Nova's different. It's more like the Malibu. So I'm not sure. I think I checked a while back. They don't make these exact fitting shrouds. A couple of people got used ones for a couple $100, which is crazy. So I'm gonna have to make something work. But yeah, you got to put that on before the fan. So we got to do something. Okay, it's starting to get hot. It's I think it's going to be 105 tomorrow, 103 next day, and then what is today? Wednesday. By Sunday or Monday, it's going to get down to like 85 and 20% chance of rain. So it looks like it's going to go from 105 to 85 like that. Hopefully it'll stay there in the 80s. But okay, I'm going to check the got the shroud, the hoses and stuff, belts to go, and then I'll get underneath there and do the all the underneath stuff. So anyway, I'll be back. Okay guys, I'll show you what I got done here. Sun's about to go down. Okay, got all the AC on there, all the brackets, got all the belts tightened, everything's on there. The shroud, now my other shroud was busted in half. This shroud's off my 82 over there. That was missing the bottom section on that car. Don't know why I didn't build I bought it off a guy that did all the engine and stuff. I just did the paint and body and a bunch of other stuff. Nobody makes these shrouds. Don't know why, because they're supposed to be the same for 78 to 87, and not only El Camino but Malibu, Grand Prix, Cutlass, G-bodies, Malibus. Anyway, a guy has NOS, new old stock ones on there, $1,082. Another guy had a used one for $220 plus shipping, and another guy just had the top half for like $150. No, $99 plus $65 shipping. $65 to ship half a shroud. So that's all that was on eBay. So nobody makes them. I couldn't convert. The Nova one was different. The Malibu one, I couldn't. I could probably cut it all up and kind of rig it and make it fit, but for now, we use the one off the 82. It's got a crack here. It's got a little piece busted off here. But I may get with my sponsor on aluminum radiators who sent me a few in the past, or next time they contact me, and get the whole aluminum radiator shroud electric fans, even though I really don't like using electric fans. I put this fan on there instead of the clutch fan because once the clutch goes out, your fan don't work at all. With this one, you're guaranteed it's going to work. Plus the AC is not even working anyway. I mean, I reconnected these hoses here, but you know, I think it's sitting up for 25 years, so there was no Freon in it. Okay, but it's all hooked up anyway. Doubt if I'll ever get it working, but if I go to sell it, it looks complete. And I can see why some people leave all this crap off, but the problem is you leave it off, it goes missing, grows legs and goes walking around. And the next guy is stuck, just like my 82. I remember going to a couple of junkyards when I bought it years ago, just looking for a little bracket because of the, you know, that one I made, that bolt for the header, because mine's got headers on it too, and there's nothing there, and the power steering pump is flopping around. Well, I needed a bracket and a bolt and something, and I didn't know what I needed. I hunted around, I couldn't find nothing. So that's the problem with leaving all this crap off. You know, the next guy is screwed. So hopefully I got some parts off the other engine that I can use to keep my power steering from flopping around on my 82. Okay, so I pretty much did all the top. I reused this hose actually looked pretty good. That was off the Malibu. There's a little bit short here. I had to cut some off. The bottom hose I'm not sure of though. But anyway, I'm done with the top. We're gonna jack it up tomorrow, get under there, put the starter and wiring to that. No, I still got, the only thing I got to do is I got to do 3 more boots right here. I did this one here. Got the fuel line hooked up, got to put some gas in it. These are all tight. I put some oil in it, power steering fluid in it, just got to put some transmission fluid in it. Oh, and the heater hoses. There, and there. And then put some transmission fluid in it. That's what I got to do up top. And then tomorrow we're going to get underneath cross member drive shaft, put her up on jack stands. So anyway guys, that's what I got done today. It's just hot as hell. I think Saturday the cold front's coming in down to 90 or then 85, and it's going to be like 85 the next, but chance of rain. So we got to wrap this up, get this hood down here in the next few days to keep the water from coming in. I got to look around, see if I can get this plastic grill. It goes up to here, I think. This little plastic deal here. As you can see all this leaves and crap in there. So I gotta replace that. Okay, I think that's all I got to go over. I gotta put this stuff in tomorrow. And yeah, it's coming along. It's pretty close. Okay, well I'll be back tomorrow and we'll try to wrap it up and start her up. Okay guys, it's the next day. And I took the muffler off. Just took it off, got the transmission, drive shaft, everything like that in there. Just wanted to show you. Okay. Here's where the this was that fuel pump that wasn't working, just making a hell of a lot of noise. I'm gonna take that off. Take those. I guess there's just 3. Okay, because I had bypassed it. see, this went to here and this went to there. So I bypassed it and just stuck a filter in there. So what I'm gonna do, this goes to this. So I got a new, bigger filter and some new line. And I'm just gonna put a new line and clamps from there to there. And then this one here is just a vent that goes that way. Okay, and then this was the power wire to it. Just completely rigged. Going through the coil spring, going through the muffler clamp, just friggin' rigged up. Anyway, I gotta pull that all the way out because it's live, so I don't know what it's gonna blow if it hits. But yeah, so it'll have this filter, and then I put another big filter on the engine there last night. I worked till it got dark. I'll just show you. Worked till it after dark, and got the heater hoses on there. Put new fuel lines here, and a big filter there. Yeah, I just got two boots to do, spark plug boots to do on those two, and then that's it. Okay, so when I come back, should be ready to fire up. Like I said, I got the oh, somebody mentioned about you need a different cross member for dual exhaust. Now, see how this floor, I don't know how good you can tell, this floor actually looked like it was caved in. But it's indented way up there, because see, the cross member is only like ½ an inch from it. That's actually where the catalytic converter went, right here, I think. So there's the indentation where you can put one exhaust, but the other side, it's not indented, the floor. So there's very little room to buy another cross member. You wouldn't save that much room unless it's a completely flat piece of metal for the replacement cross member. But anyway, I'm just going to be putting it underneath this anyway, because it's an X pipe, so the X is going to come in here somewhere. I'm just going to hope that it doesn't bottom out. It's going to be whatever, 2.5. Leave a ½ inch gap. It's going to be about a 3 inch below this. So that's the way I usually do them. But just a little bit worried about the little 14 inch. Oh, I still got the starter to do up there. You can see the header coming out there and there. I just got to put the starter on. But yeah, there's the drive shaft and transmission. Everything is hooked up. Okay, so I'll be back later. It's gonna be 106 today. It's already noon. It's probably already 100. But I'm gonna get underneath the back and do that fuel thing, and then I'll be back later in the day. Okay, guys, there's the old fuel pump that can go in the shit pile. Probably save them little fittings there for something. That was a new filter, and it's just nasty. There's still just crap coming out of that tank. I did drain it all with my fuel pump. Drained it into a tank. It was coming out pretty dirty. But anyway, there's a new filter there. Easy to get at. No muffler in the way. I do got new, those are great Gabriel hijackers. But I don't know if they work. But I got new air shocks put on there. And we'll put 5 gallons of gas in a tank and give it a shot after I put the starter in. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, guys, it's next morning. I think I'll wrap up this video. They give you these little stickers put on the battery cables, but they don't stick very good. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. We'll fire it up. It's just going to be open headers. I still got a few little things to do on it. such as the battery tray, because one of the bolts rounded off to mount it, so I got to grind it, drill a hole. No big deal, just a couple little things like that. But yeah, it's 99% done. I haven't got under there to see if the transmission's leaking yet. Doesn't look to be. But the next phase is to get her up on jack stands, and it's going to be up on jack stands for a while. And we're going to do all the flooring. Let's start her up first. Runs good. Runs great. All filled up with fluids. That's the original air cleaner that was on that Malibu. Filter's filthy. Chrome's not very good. I bought another chrome air breather, but I didn't realize how small it was. It was like 20 something bucks off eBay with a reusable filter. But what I wanted and couldn't find, I'll have to look closer, is a bigger one like this with the air cleaner filter on top too, because that's proven to be more horsepower, the filter on top and the sides. Anyway, I'll eventually get that, or maybe another filter for that one. But anyway, I'll do a little bit more touch up. I didn't get this compressor very good painted. I'll clean that up a little bit better. I'd like to get a new shroud or a used one. Still haven't got the filed for a refund on the master cylinder. Have to reorder that. I thought the seats had come in a box that I hadn't opened, but it wasn't. It was some other stuff. They're starting to piss me off. Ordered them from Eckler's, which is apparently now merged with Classic Chevy or Classic Chevrolet or something. They said 3 to 5 day delivery. It's been 12. So we'll go over that when they get here. If they get here, they may be gone like my master cylinder. But yeah, we'll go over that. Go over the prices, color, stuff like that. Okay, so the next phase is to get her up on jacks. I'm going to do a little bit more stuff here off camera. I'm going to, well, for next video, I guess. I'm going to mount the steering wheel I got for this, so stay tuned next video for that. We're most likely going to take out the interior and start patching the rear floors. I might try to fiberglass the front ones. I'm not sure yet, because they're not that bad, but you never know till you take everything out. So yeah, we got a ton of stuff. We got to do something with this dash. We got to get a headliner. That'll be all coming up future videos. But yeah, next phase, we're going to get her up on jack stands so I can crawl around underneath there, and we're going to scrape all the floor and pour 15 everything. I got some more pour 15 coming. We're going to take off all the tires. We're going to clean up all the clean up all the suspension. I did check the front brakes. They seem to be okay. Rotor looks good. Pads look good. Of course, they're 20 years old or whatever at least. So we're going to check out them real good. I didn't check the rear brakes, but the brake pedal is coming around. It was completely empty when I got the car. It's leaking at the back of the master cylinder, but right now it's got a little bit of brakes. Clean up back. I showed you under there with where the electric fuel pump was. We're going to clean all that up. Paint that, pour 15. Got the new rear air shocks. We're going to put them on there. I got new front shocks coming. We're just going to check out all the suspension, see if we need anything on, you know, front end parts, stuff like that. The car's only got 120,000 miles, and who knows what work's been done to it. So it's a lot better than having a, you know, 200,000-300,000 mile car where everything is just going to be worn out. Ball joints, tie rods, stuff like that. So we're just going to check all that out. I'm not going to go overboard on it like the Nomad, where I just bought all new suspension and steering and everything on it. But mainly that car needed it because it sat in the field for 32 years and it had drum brakes. I wanted to do the disc brake conversion. This one's already got the factory disc brakes, which is perfect. We can leave it like that. Okay, so all that's coming up, guys. And we're going to check to see if that transmission's leaking. It's the only thing I got left to do under there is put that transmission cover on there. What I did with it. I always lose that thing. I don't know what oh, it's right here. It's a plastic cover. And now I got an extra one from the Malibu right there. I'm going to clean up some of this stuff and put it in the Malibu. Not the engine, but some of this manifolds and boxes of stuff, shroud. Move all that out of the way. Probably put this hoist back over there. Anyway, stuff like that I do off camera. So yeah, it's rolling along. So that's what we got coming up, guys. It's just a ton of work coming up. So I don't know how much horsepower this is all added, but it's got to be quite a bit. You know, you got the Edelbrock, I forget what it was called, the Performer or something. Intake, Edelbrock 4-barrel, big open air cleaner, headers, gonna have the dual exhaust with the one chamber. Mufflers, that's coming in too. We got a little bit of a thing on the mufflers. That'll be coming up too, but I gotta fix them floors first before I install the muffler system. I got the X-pipe kit here from eBay, and then we'll get the mufflers on there and do all that in one video after the floors are fixed, so I don't have to, you know, I won't be able to pour 15 the bottom of the floors with all that mounted. Okay, so yeah, it's just gonna sound good. So yeah, that's I think it added quite a bit of horsepower. Won't really know how much unless I put it on a dyno, but coming from 145 horse stock 2-barrel to this is a dramatic change. And a few people say, oh, you can't get no more power out of a 305. Yeah, bullshit. Bullshit. Of course you can. Just adding headers and an air cleaner and dual exhaust and a 4-barrel increases the horsepower. So where you can't get any more horsepower out of it. Bullshit. So and as far as the internals, like I said, I was told that it was bored out, which means new pistons, bigger pistons, and then 350 heads. And yeah, some of you say, oh, 350 heads or make it worse or don't make any difference. Well, it matters. It could. Depends on what year 350 heads you use. Some of them won't make a difference, some, and all that. So this machine shop that rebuilt the engine, you'd have to trust them to know what year style heads to put on a 305 block to make it perform well and increase the horsepower. But we don't know. I don't have no receipts or nothing. All I know is it's a ripper. In that Malibu, it just smokes the tires. Somebody, I haven't looked it up, somebody said this is 500 pounds lighter than the Malibu, which is probably so. So yeah, it's good enough. It's good enough. Much, much better than stock. It's going to sound great. It's going to smoke the tires. Good enough. I don't see this engine decreasing the value of the car at all. It'll either increase it a little bit or be even. As far as originality, who would really want an original 2-barrel, 145 horse, 120,000 mile engine in their car? You know, so anyway, I'm trying to keep it somewhat original. Still deciding on the paint. White gold, black gold, I don't know. Like I said, if I wasn't too concerned about it, it'd have bigger tires, 15-inch tires on it, and yeah, maybe see, my other 82 El Camino, I was gonna do, well, I actually had another one at the same time that I sold, but one of them I was gonna do the Black Knight scheme on, because you can still get that from Phoenix Graphics, the Black Knight graphics on it. So I could do that, you know, all kinds of stuff, but I'm trying to keep it original. Same color interior, same gold, same wheels, stuff like that. So anyway, that's the plan so far, but it could change a little bit. Okay, guys, so I think that's it for this video. It's engine transmission wise and all that stuff. It's 99% there. Mechanically, we just got to do the suspension, check the suspension, steering. We're going to change the rear end fluid, checked all the brakes. Like I said, we'll go over all that stuff, and then the interior, floorboards, dash, and then saving the paint and body till last, guys. So that's where we're at. Okay, so I think that's it for this video. Like, comment, share. Subscribe if you haven't. Bottom right hand corner of the screen, just click the subscribe button. It's free, doesn't cost anything. And follow along the journey. I guess some people say hit the notification bell so you'll be notified. I don't know. I just click subscriptions on my left hand side of the screen, and people that I've subscribed to come up, and their newest videos come up. I figure that's how everybody does it, but some people have to get notified by something to see the video. But anyway, do all that stuff, guys. Follow along, because I get a lot of questions from, you know, stuff I've already done in the last video. People comment and, oh, well, what about that? Well, I covered that in the last video. You know, so don't, you know, just watch the videos as it's progressing, and then you'll know exactly what's going on, exactly what work it needs, and you don't have to ask a bunch of questions about seeming lost. Okay, guys, and yeah, eventually we're going to get to a junkyard to see if I can find a hood. This hood is absolutely hammered with hail. I can straighten it, but it'd be a lot of Bondo. And the tailgate and bumper, and possibly some plastic interior pieces. Not a lot of stuff that I need from a junkyard, but so eventually we're gonna have to okay, it was supposed to have been 107 yesterday. It got a record 111 record for that day. Average is supposed to be like 89. Today's probably going to be the same way. They say 106 or 7, but then today is supposed to be the last day in the hundreds for the year till next summer. And we haven't even got in nowhere near 103, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever it is, for years and years. It's just been crazy. I don't know if it's El Nino or whatever the hell they call it. But next 2 days is going to be 97 tomorrow, 95. Chance of rain tonight. I don't think it's going to hit here though. And then chance of rain the next few nights. But then in about 3-4 days it's going to get down to like 89 and stuff. So hopefully I can work more, because I can only do a few hours in the morning, a few hours before it gets dark. So anyway, that's the weather situation, guys. So it's going to start, I think it'll start rolling along pretty quick here, unless I get tied up doing other stuff. I've been putting off putting my ad to buy cars because it's so friggin' hot and the AC's out in my tow pig. I tried putting Freon in it there a little while ago, and just not taking Freon very little. I don't know. I can't charge it up. And then the Avalanche, I was gonna hook up the trailer to it and everything, but I decided not to. You know, I got it to haul around the 2 dogs, but puppy's gone, so don't really need it for a tow pig, plus the weather. So anyway, I've been waiting for the weather to get down. 80s would be perfect. I won't need AC in the 80s. So that's going to be coming up, guys. I'm going to start loading up on cheap cars. Actually, the price of scrap metal is way down right now, which is kind of weird. But that means cheaper cars. People get rid of them cheaper. They won't be offered as much money for them, and they'll take 100, 200 bucks for me to come pick them up. So we'll see what I come across. Do a little video on what I haul in. So yeah, I kind of got that going on. Gonna have that going on too. So anyway, guys, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next video.